Hi guys, welcome to Roslil channel. Today we will discuss about the first language English NCERT question paper. The version is 15E. We will begin with 4 alternatives are given for each of the following questions or incomplete statements. Only one of them is correct or most appropriate. Choose the correct alternative and write the complete answer along with its letter of alphabet. First question. The girl won the prize. The appropriate question tag to be added is option C. Didn't she? Second. Opportunity knocks at the door but once. The figure of speech used here is option C. Personification. 3. I found dash umbrella lying in dash room. The correct articles to be filled in the blanks are option A. And the. 4. Can you dash this word in the dictionary? The correct phrasal verb to be filled in the blank is option B. Look up. 5th. The cat sprang dash the table. The appropriate preposition to be used here is option A. Upon. 6th. He acted wisely. The underlined word is a or an. Option D. Adverb. Observe the relationship between the first pair of words and complete the second pair of words accordingly in the following. Pray, pray. Straight, straight. Rebel, rebellion. Resist, resistance. Squirm, twist. Hostile, unfriendly or enemy or opposed. Proud, humble. Punish, reward or pardon. Rewrite as directed. Frame a question to get the underlined words as an answer. Ajay met his friend in the street last night. Underlined word in the street. Where did Ajay meet his friend last night? Change the voice of the sentence. The governor has inaugurated the exhibition. The exhibition has been inaugurated by the governor. Change the given sentence into exclamatory sentence. It is a very horrible sight. What a horrible sight it is. Answer the following questions in a sentence each. Why did the author Gavin Maxwell go to Basra? To collect and answer a mail from Europe. How does the fog come according to the poet Carl Sandburg? Like a little cat feet. What does the poet compare tree branches to in the poem Trees? A newly discharged patient. How does the thief think Anil will react to the theft? Show only a touch of sadness. Who is Fowler in the story The Midnight Visitor? A young and romantic writer. Where was Matilda invited to? To a grand party or ball at the minister's residence. Why is Boli's father worried about her? She had neither good looks nor intelligence. Answer the following questions in 2 to 3 sentences each. What twin obligations does Mandela mention to every man? Obligation to his family, to his parents, to his wife and children. Obligation to his people, his community, his country. What are some of the things that you know about the people of Kurg? People of Kurg are possibly of Greek or Arabic descent. Kurgi homes have a tradition of hospitality. Recount numerous tales of valor. Are permitted to carry firearms. What is a dust of snow? How does it change the poet's mood? A fine or small particles of snow or flakes of snow. Negativity to positivity, sadness to happiness, bad mood to good mood. Why is Mr. Harriot tempted to keep Tricky as a permanent guest? Mr. Pumphrey sent 2 dozen of fresh eggs at a time, bottles of wine for lunch, brandy for dinner. Why was the 20th century called the era of the book? In those days, there were books about everything. They taught people how to and when to and where to and why to. They illustrated, educated, punctuated and even decorated. Why is the young lawyer sent to New Million? What does he first think about the place? To serve summons on a man called Oliver Lutkins of a sweet and simple country village. Why was Griffin wandering in the streets? Or what experiments and projects does Richard Albright undertake? Griffin was a lawless person. His landlord disliked him. In revenge, Griffin set fire to the house. To get away without being seen, he had to become invisible. cause that kills monarch caterpillars, theory that viceroy butterflies copy monarchs, discovery of unknown insect hormone, theory on the life of cells. Rewrite as directed. Change the following sentence into the other two degrees of comparison. A sunset on the sea is one of the loveliest things in the nature. Positive. Very few things in the nature are as lovely as a sunset on the sea. Comparative. A sunset on the sea is lovelier than most or many other things in the nature. Combine the sentences using to. So that. He is very old. He cannot learn new things. He is too old to learn new things. He is so old that he cannot learn new things. Change the following sentence into reported speech or indirect speech. Why are you so late for the meeting, Robert? Said Anwar. Anwar asked or questioned or inquired Robert why he was so late for the meeting. Answer the following questions in 5 to 6 sentences each. Is bread an important part of Goan life? How do you know this? Marriage gifts are meaningless without bread. Party or a feast loses its charm without bread. Sandwiches are must for daughter's engagement. Cakes and bolinas are must for festivals. 32nd. Why did Anne think she could confide more in her diary than in people? Paper has more patience than people. No one will be interested in the musings of a 13-year-old schoolgirl. To get all kinds of things off her chest, she could ever find a real friend. She wanted the diary to be her friend. Describe the movements and actions of the tiger in the cage and in the wild. In the zoo, he has no freedom. He is kept in the cage. He feels angry, frustrated, and helpless. He hears the sound of patrolling cars. He pays no attention to the visitors. In the forest or wild, he is hiding and sliding in the long grass near waterhole. He frightens other animals. He terrorizes the villagers with his fangs and claws. Horace Danby was good and respectable but not completely honest. Why do you think this description is apt for Horace? Horace Danby was a good and respectable but not completely honest. He served his first and only sentence in a prison library for 15 years. He loved rare, expensive books, so he robbed a safe each year. Though he was successful enough at his business, he robbed. Why does the poet say that the boy is learning from the loss of the ball? Explain it in your own sentences. The boy lost the ball with which he was emotionally attached. He could buy a new ball, but it was worthless. He senses his first responsibility. In a world of possessions, balls will be lost. Money is external, understands the epistemology of loss. He is learning how to stand up. How does the young seagull conquer his fear? Give a brief sketch of the character Ivan Lomo in the play The Proposal. The young seagull was afraid to fly. He felt that his wings could never support him. His mother tore a piece of fish, then scraped her beak. The sight of the food maddened him. He dived at the fish. The next moment he felt his wings spread outwards. He was no longer afraid. Lomo was the neighbor of Chubko, a large and hearty but very suspicious landowner. He suffered from palpitations. He is excitable and always getting awfully upset. He had loved Natalia Stepanova and had come to ask the hand of her. He was a quarrelsome person and quarrelled over petty issues. Explain with reference to the context. Everybody move aside, please. Make way for Madam. Madam rides the bus. Wally Cannon. The conductor says this. Wally wanted to ride on the bus. One fine day in the afternoon when the bus was about to leave, she stopped the bus and showed him some coins. The conductor asked to get on the bus. He was fond of joking, so made fun of Wally. Remember, no one dies of hunger. A letter to God, G.L. Fuentes. Lencho says this. Rain and the hailstorm started. Lencho's family was happy, but for an hour the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield. Not a leaf remained on the trees. The crop was totally destroyed. It was a total loss for Lencho. Lencho thought only of his own one hope, the help of God. But I can get a hair dye and set such color there. For Anne Gregory, William Butler eats. The young woman says to the poet. The poet says that young man will love her for great honey-colored hair and not for herself. The woman says she can get her hair dye brown or black or carrot. Wants to change the color of hair so that the young man can love her for herself, not for her yellow hair. I stand and look at them long and long. Animals, Walt Whitman. The poet wants to turn and live with animals. Animals are so placid and self-contained. He wanders and looks at them. They do not sweat and whine. He feels more at home with animals than humans. He finds the humans complicated and false. Quote from memory. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that destruction eyes he is also great and would suffice. Don't bite your nails, Amanda. Don't hunch your shoulders, Amanda. Stop that slouching and sit up straight, Amanda. There is a languid emerald sea. Answer the following questions in 7 to 8 sentences each. How does Buddha explain the mortal life in the world with examples? Or what are some of the things we come to know about otters from the lesson which build the otter? The life of mortals in this world is troubled and brief. No one can avoid death. Death is the nature of living beings. Mortals are always in danger of death. As ripe fruits are in danger of falling. As all earthen vessels made by the potter end is being broken. Both young and adult, both those who are fools and wise, all fall into the power of death. All are subject to death. Otters are found in large numbers in the marshes near Basra in Iraq. Otters are intelligent, friendly and fun-loving animals. They love to plunge in the water. They roll in the water and make the water splash and splash. Otters belong to a comparatively small group of animals called mustelines. How is Wanda seen as different by the other girls? How do they treat her? Or how did Mandela's understanding of freedom change with age and experience? Wanda had a very funny name. She always wore a faded blue dress that didn't hang tight. She didn't have friends. She came all the way from Boggins Heights. She sat in the corner of the room where the rough boys sat. She came to school alone and went home alone. She was very quiet and rarely said anything at all. Nobody had ever heard her laugh out loud. Her feet were usually caked with dry mud. As a boy, he thought freedom means free to run in the fields, to swim in the clear stream, free to roast meals, ride on the moving bulls. As a student, he wanted freedom for himself, to stay out at night, to read what pleased him. As a young man, he yearned for earning, marrying and having a family. Then he realized that not only he, but his people were not free. The freedom was curtailed. How does the poet suggest some ways to identify the wild animals in the poem? How to tell wild animals? Or write the summary of the poem, The Tale of the Custard the Dragon. Asian lion, a large and tawny beast that roars at you. Bengal tiger, a noble wild beast with black stripes on a yellow ground. Leopard peppered spot, leap and leap again. Bear, who hugs you very hard, will give you just one more kiss. Crocodiles, beasts of prey who weeps at you. Hyenas, beasts of prey who smile at you. Chameleon, a small lizard sort of thing, has no ears, no wings and changes color. Belinda lived in a little house with pets, namely a kitten, mouse, dog and a dragon. Custard the dragon had big sharp teeth, spikes and daggers on his toes. Everybody called him to be brave, but Custard the dragon cried for a nice safe cage. Suddenly there was a pirate with a pistol in his hand. Belinda cried, "Help, help!" But all the animals fled with terrified yelp. But Custard the dragon jumped on the pirate and gobbled him. Custard the dragon proved to be brave. Read the following passage carefully and answer the questions given below. Speech is a great blessing, but it can also be a great curse. For while it helps us to make our intentions and desires known to our fellows, it can also, if you use it carelessly, make our attitude completely misunderstood. A slip of the tongue, the use of an unusual word, or an ambiguous word, and so on may create an enemy where we had hoped to win a friend. Again, different classes of people use different vocabularies, and the ordinary speech of an educated man may strike an uneducated listener as showing pride. Unwittingly, we may use a word which bears a different meaning to our listener from what it does to men of our own class. Thus, speech is not a gift to use lightly, without thought, but one which demands carefully handling. How does speech create an enemy? Why does speech demand careful handling? A slip of the tongue, the use of an unusual word or of an ambiguous word, and so on may create an enemy. Different classes of people use different vocabularies, and ordinary speech of an educated man may strike an uneducated listener. We may use words which bear different meanings. Write an essay of about 18 to 20 sentences on any one of the following topics. Artificial intelligence, its merits and demerits. Moral values, their importance in life. Letter writing. Imagine you are Gautam or Gautami studying in 10th standard Government High School Chitradurga. Write a letter to the headmaster of your school to permit your throwball team to participate in the district level throwball tournament. Or imagine you are Harshit or Harshita residing in number 10 10th Avenue JP Nagar Mysore. Write a letter to your father informing him about the computer training course which you have joined recently, mentioning the importance of that course at present. Thank you for watching the video. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. All the best for your exams. Thank you.